Welcome back to another Ratface 44 Reviews. My name is James, and today we have G.I. Joe Classified Series, Iron Grenadiers, Metalhead. So let's get this started! So before we get this started, big shout out to DJC Collectibles, best place to get G.I. Joe Classified Series in Canada. Link will be in the description below. Let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see, window packaging. You see Metalhead here with all the accessories, cool artwork, G.I. Joe Classified Series, Iron Grenadiers. This artwork is pretty sweet. He's clenching his teeth, holding a knife, I guess, kind of fades out to the bottom. And on this side of the packaging, same artwork in a larger format. Yep, he's holding a knife, 118 in the line. And on the back of the packaging, you see Metalhead here in action. Check that out. Massive explosions in the background. Got a train derailing. Looks like maybe Naugahyde. I don't know, that's just a guess. Zoom in aspects of some details of this figure. You got the Iron Grenadiers logo there, and we got, I guess this is his backpack or one of the mechanical aspects. And on this side of the packaging, same artwork in blue, 118, QR code, and battle stats. Boring stuff on the bottom. We got a Cobra logo on the top. So I got my trusty scalpel here. Let's go ahead and open up the packaging. So here is Metalhead in the plastic. Awesome Cobra logo on the back of the packaging here. So it's time to take the figure out and all the accessories. So first off, we have all the blast effects. We have the larger missiles. We got 2 of them, and we got 4 smaller ones. It looks like we have different levels of blast effects here. We got 2 large, 2 medium, and 2 small. So here's the large missile. They're done in this kind of pale yellow color. And as you can see, there you could put the blast effect in the bottom. Not too much to say about this. There's some sort of fins on it or whatnot. So the small ones are exactly the same as the big ones. Check that out. And let's look at the big blast effect. These big blast effects are exactly the same as the small ones. Got some ports here. And let's take a look at the small one. And it looks a little different. Port is bigger, of course, because it's a smaller effect. Next, let's take a look at some of the weaponry. We've seen this before with the Snow Serpent. This is done in black and a dark red. Pretty standard. Magazine just comes, is removable, and it's very thin. And next we have a knife here. Got a silver blade. We've seen this before. And again, this is another reuse of the Snow Serpent's rifle, done in that same color, kind of maroon red color and black. And you got a port for blast effects. Next we have these rocket launchers. They are exactly the same. Has some silver paint application on it, done in black. There is a port most likely to put on his leg. I saw the picture. Got some ports, lots of ports. Let's take a look at this, another rocket launcher type of backpack. It is articulated and it can move up and down, and it's on like kind of a ball joint. Same color coordination, black and silver. Has some cool sculpting on it. There is a very small peg on the back of this rocket launcher type backpack. Check out that molding detail. That looks really cool, and obviously you could probably port in those missiles and effects on this rocket launcher. And on the rocket launcher, there are hoses that you could port in. These came out when I was unboxing all the accessories here, and they just kind of poured in here. We'll take a look at these later when we gear up the figure. So let's take a look at the extra hair goggle combo, which is really cool. Check out that mullet. He's a Metalhead, so you should have long hair. Red goggles, yellow lenses. You can see that there's some sort of technical detail on here, kind of like a computer readout. Looks very cool. And the next one here looks very medieval. This looks freaking nasty. I really like this. It's kind of a, looks like almost like a samurai helmet. There's like a saw blade, like a mohawk. Got yellow eyes, and you got these red kind of fins coming in front of his face. This looks freaking awesome. I like the paint applications on the back. Like the silver scales, spikes, and it's done in this kind of gunmetal type color. Very cool. So that's it for all the accessories. Finally, let's go ahead and take a look at the figure. Let's get a really close-up shot of Metalhead's face sculpt. That looks pretty cool. I do like the hair sculpt a lot. His face looks absolutely crazy. Looks like he has a teardrop tattoo just on the side of his eye. I'm unsure what that means. Does it mean that his teeth are clenched? He shouldn't grind his teeth, that's bad for you. He has a evil pinch on his chin, black eyebrows and hair. Really cool hair sculpt. Check that out. That's a really cool mullet, like I was saying before. And you can see right here it says Cold Slither, and you got a bunch of X's here. I guess that's the how many Joes he you know. Anyways, let's look at the style and design of this action figure. He has a maroon shirt underneath, or kind of a combination between gray and maroon. He has a gold Destro Iron Grenadiers patch on his shoulder with like the knife. That's really cool. I really like the colors of Metalhead here. It looks really awesome with the maroon, gray, and light gray. I like the touch of like kind of the metal scratches on his kind of neck piece here. Overall, the face sculpt looks a little cartoony to me. And on the back here of the vest, you can see that there's a lot of really cool sculpting detail and paintwork where the backpack is applied. You can see there's some kind of blue highlights here and silver paint applications. Very cool. We got these kind of pegs here. What's really cool about this figure is the vest. I like how it's kind of higher up, so it doesn't hinder as much articulation as like to say a long vest. Going down his arms, pretty plain, pinless double jointed elbows, black gloves, trigger fingers on those hands. You got some nice sculpting detail on the waist. You got a kind of a lighter gray belt buckle, continuing that color down to his legs. He has these holsters for those rocket launchers, which we will gear up in just a minute. You can see there's some red peg kind of paint highlight on the sort of holsters. Got lighter gray knee pads, nice material molding detail on the pants, black boots, and these look like red laces and just standard military type boots. Overall, this figure looks pretty decent. I like the colors. It'll go well with your Crimson Strike team or the Hiss Fire team. Red and black and gray look really awesome together. This is nice color combination. And unfortunately, I do not have the vintage version of Metalhead. Never had an inkling to get him. I actually kind of forgot. I was gonna buy him, the vintage version, I should say, just to do a comparison, but unfortunately at this moment I don't have the vintage version. So let's go over a little bit of the articulation. So the head is on a double ball joint. It is a little loose. Unfortunately, the butterfly shoulder joints are pretty decent. You can make a pretty decent flying type of pose. Got drop down hips. You got an ab crunch with some rotation here on a ball joint. You got a cut at the thigh. You got a cut at the bicep. Double jointed pinless elbows. They move really well. Got swivel at the wrist. Up and down joint at the wrist. Double jointed pinless knees. And we have rockers and up and down and a swivel at the boot. So let's go ahead and gear up Metalhead. So first off, I want to switch out his hair. It is removable, as you can guess, because of the extra accessory. And this is probably how I'm going to be displaying Metalhead with his goggles, because that looks really cool. I really like that a lot. I think this is how the vintage one looks like. I'll have a picture up on the left corner there of what Metalhead looks like vintage form. That looks awesome. Let's try out the backpack. I know there are blast effects for this, so let's try them out. So let's try out his other head accessory, which is his helmet. This is, I think it's made up for classifieds. I don't know if that matches very well. The red matches good, but the overall look, he definitely looks very medieval. It is kind of cool. Maybe I'll utilize that on another figure. Yeah, it would be cool to put on maybe on a Valiverse figure. Make a Carax right-hand man would look really cool. Just an idea. Next we have these thigh rocket launchers. They just kind of peg in. This peg is a little rubbery, so it won't break off like the vintage one. I know for a fact these pegs broke off because they were made of a harder plastic, but still highly recommended just to be a little bit more careful here, obviously. And it looks like I stressed out the peg a little bit. This one went in perfectly. I don't understand why this one isn't pegging in. It's really, really kind of annoying right now. It's quite possible that... Let me try the other one. Yeah, it looks like this peg is a little bigger than this one here. That is really unfortunate. So I was able to put it on. You just kind of twist it on. So the complaint I hear people talking about is the only way to hold on to these rockets is to have them engaged and have them in action, which is fine with me. He'll look cool on display. Absolutely ridiculous, but awesome at the same time. It was a bit of a pain in the ass to figure out where these cables are plugged into. They are in the back of these rocket launchers, and I can barely see that there is a hole right in the middle of these two kind of, I don't know, jets. Shout out to Yojo Jerk for the assist on helping me figure out where these cables go. One last thing to put on Metalhead is the tiny little knife, and it is a tight squeeze. This is how I'm going to display him. I don't think I'm going to take any of this stuff off. It was a bit of a pain. I was able to put his gun in his hands. They fit perfectly. So let's go ahead and do some comparisons. So here is Metalhead with Quick Kick. And here is Big Boa. Towers over Metalhead here. And here is Clutch. And for some non-classified figures, here is Amazing Spider-Man. And lastly, here is Prophet Director Destro. This is the closest Destro we're going to have for the Iron Grenadiers so far. He has the gold head. My question is, why didn't they make another Destro? I would have bought another Destro. All they have to do is reuse this head and maybe get a new body, or do a recolor and make him Iron Grenadiers Destro. So in conclusion, guys, this is a pretty decent figure. He is one of the wackiest characters in the Cobra lineup or Iron Grenadiers lineup. I'm all for the wacky characters. There's a couple of pet peeves that I have, you know, with the quality control with the peg here, finding where to put these cables into, and they always kind of pop out, so just be aware of that. Another thing is there's no alternate way of storing these missiles. You have to keep them in action, which is fine with me, like I said. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Thank you to all my subscribers. You guys rock. Like, comment, and subscribe. Yojo and Cobra!